We thank you so much for joining us. We thank you for being a
I'm
part of
gonna
this. I
give
think we
some.
have one
I'm gonna
other
give some.
question, right?
We're not leaving. I gotta read
No,
this.
no, not leaving. But I just want to thank first off for that segment. We're gonna
Don't
thank
leave.
Cheryl.
Commercial.
Cheryl
He's doing
disappeared.
a mid-show commercial.
No, is that what he's doing? All right. Yeah, that was nice. Actually, it was so interesting because I saw her in these different little clippets, these little stories. And then it continued. Okay, so we had my employer forgot me my employer forgot me the day after I left for health reasons. Take care of yourself. Something made you want to see the doctor, listen to yourself. Not that anyone asked my opinion. I feel like it's important that I read messages. Faith Hayes said, hello. Well, hello, Faith. I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. And then Suzanne, we love Suzanne, says, great advice. My healing process was tuning into my best self and pray for this beautiful life before starting my day.
What a great community you guys have coming in and calling in. Like, amazing.
Well, and we appreciate you putting some time aside to be here with us, Kelly, because it's always interesting when we can connect all of our energy. You know, it's amazing things happen. And the energy is very powerful. So obviously for me, it's like everything's been magnified and everything is just freezing up. And
dude, I love the bandana. Like I have like seeing you as your younger self and causing trouble. And I have so many questions.
Younger self. What's a younger self like? I want to see.
So this is funny. So this is gonna. So I'll give you a little bit of a tidbit. I'm working on doing some new like trance channeling, and I have a couple projects that I'm working on, like for my own internal growth. You know, these are like I'm pushing the bounds of a few things. And I was doing some new forms of meditation, and I was doing this. I was practicing almost like this outer body type of meditation, and I'll share this at a later date. I'll share a little bit of what I'm doing, and it's some of the stuff that I was doing in the lab with Yale, trying to open and expand certain frequencies and certain channels in the mind to link up to what they would say would be like your higher self, like almost linking up and connecting to other energetic cycles and patterns that could simultaneously be connecting with this. It's kind of a form of string theory, if anyone's familiar with string theory and quantum physics, but they feel we can tap into an alternative version of what we're navigating in this lifetime. So there may be, you know, in this life, I'm a medium and this is my path, and music was a very powerful focal point. But there could be another life, you know, where I'm an architect, and maybe my creativity took me on this journey in this path to create buildings or draw or design. And it's interesting. They say we can tap into these other paths, these other strings, these other parallel strings or somewhat intertwined strings, and get different versions that we can bring back into this energetic cycle. And it's really interesting because they're saying like the military had experimented with this and worked on aspects of this since like the 40s and the 50s. So it's something that kind of popped up, and it's something that that intrigued me. So yeah, so I'm kind of in like the physical yogi, you know, ready to go off grid and do some crazy stuff. But yeah, I'm trying to find a way to trans channel and connect with potential parallel energetic cycles that I may be in an alternate reality.
With your blue bandana,
sum it up. Everyone's gonna go, Mike has lost his freaking mind.
How many versions there are of you? So we'll get into this week that I'm writing my book, and I'm talking, and I did all this research, which I did in the past in 2020, all about clones and how far they've come with clones, and are there many versions of us, because they only need a little bit of DNA to make a clone, an identical version of you. So are there 20 of these of you? There's that movie The Island. Are there 100 versions of Kelly, 100 versions of Michael? And then they can just have a clone and then take consciousness and put it in the clone. And then I also this week was reading about the manual for remote viewing, which I'm unintentionally doing remote viewing. So I said, oh, I might as well see how they professionally do remote viewing, which is where you don't know the target and you don't get the information about the target near anyone, because then you can, or tell anyone, because then you can receive thoughts from them, which will tell you information if you truly want to remote view. Okay, we also have some comments here. Bailey and Nora, hello. Edge Magazine said, hello, Bailey. What else? We have Faith Hayes sending more messages. A lot of comments here tonight.
What are your thoughts on celebrities and clones? Or am I dipping our toes into something a little naughty?
No, it's not naughty. It's very common now. People are talking about this all the time. What is my perception? I mean, look, at this point, anything is possible. Everyone's going to be woken up to what's really going on. And I'm not surprised at all. No, I think it's totally, anything's possible.
I'm just going to say one name. I'm going to say one name, Jim Carrey.
What is it? What are we talking about? This person keeps saying that. What are we talking about? What do you think
we're talking about? Are they? We're going off on a Two Psychics tangent down a rabbit hole, and have celebrities or political figures or well-known publicized humans, have they been cloned and replaced, for maybe a underlying agenda to shift and change humanity? And I don't know. There's some really bizarre stuff out there that we've seen, and especially in the last like few years, since 2020, we've seen some really, really crazy shifts.
I want to know how much happened during COVID. And then I'm also hearing that people are just like, I just went and had plastic surgery. What a great cover up. Oh, I just went and had plastic surgery. And then I've also heard about the Ozempic and the I forget, whatever. And like, oh my God, like we should have a show of just going down crazy ass rabbit holes. Because
but it's not that crazy, because
I know.
It's the part that people are in denial about. And it's also related to when people come to you and ask questions, they're not trusting what they're seeing and sensing. Everyone knows the truth. The fact that we're talking about it means that's what's going on. It's all fake.
I adore you.
Everything's all fake. So so
that means, Kelly, we are taking you on some wild rabbit holes in future episodes.
I'm ready to go. I'll show up at the restaurant and do some of your adventures. Jim Carrey.
Okay, we have a couple of comments.
Oh yeah.
Whoa, this is deep. I love white women. Someone wrote.
I'm glad they love white women. I love white women too.
So sci-fi is not sci-fi. Conspiracy theories is not. It's all real. It's true. It's stuff that's going on. You interviewed someone's spaceships. I'm listening to the guy who created the spaceships today, interviewing whistleblowers. It's like, hello, there's not much digging you have to do. It's all out there. And that's how they can do it. Because then it's if we are watching it and seeing it, then they're showing it to us. So they do, it's not a cover up. There's no cover up here.
Have you guys?
I feel I have 23 spirits call me crazy. LOL. I mean, I was reading on Daily Mail yesterday how 23andMe, they were going through to find DNA for extraterrestrials. Like, what extraterrestrial do you think that you have DNA from, Kelly? Do you know?
Oh, actually, I was just talking to Gail and Ileana the Star Traveler on it, and I am a hybrid.
Okay. Well, we'll probably
let's talk about that. So Gail thought I had. It was interesting. Gail picked up on a little bit of gray, a little bit of reptilian, like a drop, and then Syrian, Arturian, and Palladian. And then I was talking to Ileana the Star Traveler, which I'll connect you with. You'd love to be on her show. She's barely human in all the right ways. And she said Palladian, Arturian, and something Syrian. And I was like, okay, that's cool.
So you're not of ETs?
Well, all those ETs. And then I'm a Petri dish baby, which was cool. So basically, like, a little group of them got together and were like, let's play and let's have a little Kelly. So they put me in a little petri dish and they mixed it all up like this. Whoa, 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 whoa.
So were you from a farm on another planet?
Yup. And then I was able to have free will to choose my parents.
Are you sure that there was no, so you're telling me no one was mating all these?
So you're a very diverse
elements of all
universal
these
creature.
extra.
Well, there must be a little bit of this and that.
Are you a lab baby or you
Created?
mated?
I was lab created. Now I'm assuming Jim and Kitty, my parents, were like actively having fun.
Okay, wait a second. Let's recap here. Did you ever have an UFO or an extraterrestrial experience yourself?
So here's the fun part: is about 2 months ago,
Okay.
I was sleeping, and I like woke up in the middle of the night, and I looked over, and there were 2 grays, and I was like, I can't swear on here, can I?
You can if
Well,
you
whatever.
I
want.
don't think you should.
I looked over and I was like, who the flip are you? And I kind of looked over and I was like, huh? And then I saw one of their hands go like that. And I just fell back asleep. So I'm talking to Gail and she checked in on it because I was like, of course you get someone that flies spaceships and you're like, okay, so I had this dream. And she's like, oh no, my love, this was not a dream. Right. So then they like that. And then
It was real.
they took me up in a spaceship and they worked on my gut because our guts are going to have to elevate for the new earth and like what's going on. And it was really funny. It was like, well, why they were working on my gut? Could they work on my heart and my lungs and my liver and my bad knee? And I mean, could they work on like everything? Like, don't just work on my gut and send me home. And then they sent me home. So she actually told me that if they come in and visit me again, that I need or like before I go to bed, be like, not tonight, kind of thing. But that's my only.
Okay, so wait a second, Kelly.
Yeah.
You seem like you don't seem traumatized from this.
No.
Okay, so you're not traumatized. So I'm going to make some suggestions.
Yeah.
You know the doctor, what's her face? Dr. Gail.
Gail.
Okay.
Gail McLeod.
Okay, so you were not traumatized, so it was a pleasant experience, is what you're saying.
It was a neutral experience.
Okay, so did you have any visitations when you were a child? Who recommended you for them to find you? Because someone recommended you. They just don't come out of nowhere. Did you never had an ET experience?
Not that I can recollect.
Okay, when did this happen?
A couple months ago.
Okay. Did you have anyone on the show related to extraterrestrials or someone that would have connected you?
I had Gail on afterwards, not beforehand.
Interesting. Because you can talk to them, so you receive information like psychically. You just received information from Cheryl. When they come, because you obviously were awake when it happened, correct? Was it paralysis?
Probably. I remember looking over and then seeing them and then just a hand going up and going like that, and then I was asleep.
Because you can talk to them and they can telepathically talk to them and tell them what you want. So if you're like not joking and you want them to do things like your knee or whatever, you can say, can you help me and feel my knee? Or you can say, don't come back tonight, but that doesn't mean they're going to listen to you.
Or take me off this planet.
Yeah, I didn't. I thought it was a dream. I'll be straight up. I thought it was a dream because it was just so neutral. And it was so, I don't want to say matter of fact, because I remember the next morning waking up and telling my husband like, hey, like this happened. And he's like, I don't remember anything. So
he's not going to remember. He's not going to remember.
So how would they find me?
They would find you by someone recommended them, or you hit their
radar
frequency.
Okay.
So because you're operating on a similar frequency. So you are a higher frequency. I'm a higher frequency. So is Michael. They come to me, and I more recently, I telepathically talking to them, whereas before I didn't know how to do it. Now I do, and then they're like I had a tall white. It looks very like almond shaped eyes, and it's funny that you brought this up because when you were here, I said, "Wait, what ET is she? Is she a hybrid?" So they have eyes that are like these. He had these almond shaped eyes, and he came in and went like this, and then I started telepathically talking to him, and he went, "Oh," and then he ran away, like because he was surprised that I could communicate with him. But you probably can communicate with them too.
Okay, so I'm a knower, I'm not a seer, but I have been noticing spaceships a lot lately. Like they're everywhere. Like they're
okay, so that's why. That's why they came to you. So you're seeing them.
I'm so I don't want to say new to this because I have a feeling that, oh wait, Fred came to me when I was little. Thank you for bringing that up. Like Fred came to me when I was little. Okay. Yeah. Well, I had a friend named Fred, but I thought he was my imaginary friend, but I don't think he was my imaginary friend. And I now have a bird that comes to me all the time in my backyard that's named Fred. So yeah, I'm sure this has been going on, but it's not that I'm traumatized. I've had very, very peaceful, whatever they've been doing, they've been doing me right.
They're benevolent extraterrestrials then. Yes. So these grays are good ones. They're trying to help you. We have a couple of comments. I have no idea
we've gone down a rabbit hole.
What? I don't get what's going on with me. I just know I'm different. Faith Hayes says this. I feel my species hasn't been discovered yet. LOL. There's thousands of species.
Yeah. And I think not truly knowing who you are is the awakening of the journey. You know, if you're feeling a little unsettled or trying to discover who you are, I always feel like that's your soul's calling, inviting you onto, you know, a new adventure. And I think it's something you should embrace. You know, I feel when we're in our comfort zone, we're not embracing that true high vibration, energetic connection that our soul wants us to have, you know, and I think that's the problem of what we're seeing unfold right now around us. I think a lot of people have got caught up in circumstances, and a life that they kind of feel lost in. So if your soul is, you know, there's like a burning desire to try something different or go outside your comfort zone, you're going to feel fear around that, but I think you have to transcend that fear and challenge yourself. So whoever made that comment, I think you're probably in a really cool space to challenge and kind of awaken whatever's going on.
Oh my gosh, this is fantastic.
Kelly, would you be open to speaking to me on my channel, the other channel, Mary Amy channel?
Sure.
Maybe we can, yeah.
You can be bouncing all around.
Okay, I forgot because with the magazine, I get to talk to all these people. I think it was it might have been Ileana said that we're all stardust. And that is really, really cool that like we're all stardust. Yeah, if you think about it, stardust that's amazing, right?
We're all connected, right? Yeah, it's beautiful when you look at it that way.
I'm like, oh yeah, of course we're stardust. And we're just this is so much fun. So they were so Dr. Gail was also talking about like Disclosure Day and how the timeline kind of keeps shifting. I'm just like, okay, here we go. Like, what do you think that like when I was talking to Ileana, she was like, for us to be able to do this as a society and a planet, it's got to be like these baby steps. Like, I think people think that there's going to be like a spaceship that's going to land on the White House lawn and they're going to come out and they're going to be like, hi. But it's like, that's not it at all. It's going to be like these baby steps. And it's just saying that like, they've been here and I don't know. Okay. I'm just gonna be done. Like this.
Well, you know, there's some conspiracy groups talking about the WWE ring that they're building on the White House lawn, you know, is covering up some other ulterior secret things that are going underneath the White House. You know, they're saying there's some complexes being built and that's a distraction. So you can't hear it, or it's covering up some noise and some other things going on.
Have you ever been to the Denver airport? That is crazy.
Yeah,
Just saying.
yeah.
Mary Amy, you have a bunch of galactics that are behind you right now.
I'm sure I do.
You're like, hello,
What
friend.
do they look like? Because I could tell you. There's a blue one named
There's a blue
Eric.
one. There's a white one. There's a gray one. There's one that's just energy. So it's just like it's like a vapor or like a ghost. Like there's a purple one. It was interesting. I went to Mount Shasta for a retreat. I hosted it, and I do my meditation in the morning, and I bring in my guides, and then all of a sudden I'm in Mount Shasta, and like blue ones showed up, and I'm like, so they made the Star of David around me in my in my check-in in the morning. So I went to a local, and I was like, who are the blue guys here? And they're like, those are the Talosians. Like, come on, like. How do you not know about them? Because they were like, hello, old friend, welcome back. And I'm like, okay, let's rock. And they haven't left me yet. Like, so I have the blue ones around me now.
Yeah, like, you're protected. The blue ones will protect you. That's why you're seeing the spaceships. Mujin, remember, Michael, remember Mujin?
Yes, Mujin was a very interesting character, for sure.
He sees them. He just sets up a tent and starts healing people. He has the blue ones. He talks about the blue beings, and he'll start speaking, go outside, and then spaceships will come all around him. And then he was posting, and I'm just going to mouth it. So he was doing lives, and then they took them all down, and then they won't let him do them anymore because he literally was videotaping it going on. So the underground tunnels, yes, there's underground tunnels and under mountains, and they're and when you said, are they a spaceship is gonna land, they're already here. Yeah. So there's benevolent ones and benevolent ones.
Sure. And just like humans.
Yeah, but it's going to come out who has the power and who puts us in all these systems and enslavement. And that is what the disclosure is going to be. It's not necessarily going to be where we're going to be like seeing a spaceship. It's going to be more or less the shapeshifters are not going to be able to shapeshift anymore, and they're going to be outed. And we are needing to be told the truth because other countries have advanced technology. And how do they have spaceships? Well, that's anti-gravity, and that there's 0-point energy, and there's ether that's being used, and energy that we don't need to have, like go to a gas station. That's a long time ago. That's the 1950s. They've had this technology since the 1950s, but they're choosing to make us have to pay $6 for a tank of gas or a gallon of gas. Right. So if we we
have 0-point technology that the whole world should be running on free energy, but unfortunately,
so
everything is manipulated, controlled, and utilized for profit.
Will you still be doing?
We're having people that are a little frustrated that we've gone on this tangent and we're not doing.
Well, I'm going to see if somebody wants.
What happened to the readings? No more readings. Oh no. Kelly, we're keeping you on till midnight.
Nobody contacted me for the reading, so I don't know what to tell you. I gave you my email. Are you still going to, that person that wanted the reading, do we want to
we had someone early on. So you know what? Can you flip? Is there any way to get back to that comment or the person that commented earlier and we started?
The person that commented further, drop it and say that you're still here. Then we'll
say that you're still here. Let us know. Give us that question or a specific question around that. We'll tune into it real quick.
Who wanted the reading? Hi, beautiful people. This person, Marie, are you still here? It says, hi, beautiful people. Oh, well, that's nice. I am hoping I can please ask for some insight regarding my path and energy right now. I am open to any insights from you or guides, please. I am a new sub. What does that mean, sub? Let's see if she's still here. Because
a new sub to Two Psychics. Well, thank you for subbing. Thank you for following Two Psychics podcast. Come on, Mary. You gotta get with the lingo.
I know. I'm totally really interested. Wondering if I should give up. So wait.
Well, this is.
But you guys are speaking a lot of truth.
Yeah.
Okay. So
that is what this. That's what this show is about, right? We are speaking truth and the
Yes, the
reality
person is
of.
still here. Mare
Okay.
T111. Is that what it is? Or Mare? Okay.
TAP
Right. So they're still here. They're
MARFEL
still here. Her
111.
name's Maria. Maria is still here. Hi, Maria. Okay, Maria, we can give you a reading.
So Maria, give us the question in the chat, and we'll try to just key in on your energy. If
My real name is Maria. Oh, she's giving her real name. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to get down to all of them. Thank you. My real name. Oh, we don't need a real name. Just Maria.
yeah, we don't need. We could just focus on the energy that we're feeling around that question.
Maria. Hi, Maria. All right, let's see if we can tune into Maria.
And what was the question, Mary? What did she have? Was there an actual question?
The question was, no, Maria just wants some insight, she said.
Just kind of tuning into potential
Maria,
supernatural
give us a
abilities.
question. It's going to help a lot, especially since
Maria, do
you're.
you have a question? Maria Angel. Oh, well, Maria Angel. It's a nice name. Okay, so there's no question, just her name.
Okay, so Maria, if you're still on, if you're hearing this, pop your question into the chat. We will tune into that. Otherwise, I think an ongoing connecting question that we've had from several people, I think, is just asking, how do I tune into my abilities, or what could potentially be my supernatural ability, or, this psychic energy? And what I always tell everybody is, we're all born intuitive. We're all born with that.
Here it is. Sorry, I just don't know how to word asking my path, energy field. What is it of interest? I am open to learning from you guys. Okay.
Cool. Okay.
So my path and energy field.
So let me premise this. I'll premise this by saying we are all energy, frequency, and vibration. Everything in this realm connects us through energy, frequency, and vibration. We're all natural, intuitive empaths. So upon that natural ability and energy, that divine energetic connection we all have, and again, like Kelly spoke about earlier, we're all stardust. We're all connected. We all come from that essence. We build upon that our psychic abilities. Then from that, we build our mediumship abilities, our trance channeling, all these other things that we start tapping into. But it all starts with energy and being aware of our own energy first. So that, I think we tend to overthink it, but I would say just be present and mindful to your own body, your own energy. You can do a body scan, look up like the chakra system, look at those energetic points in the body, start to focus on them, see what comes to you intuitively in your mind. Are you picking up on anything? Are you getting anything visual? Does anything come to you? Do you feel certain ones are blocked? But it's very simple stuff that you can do with like breath work and just being aware and paying attention and tuning into your energy. So that would be my first suggestion. I think maybe we can all go through and maybe each give a suggestion or a tip, but I would say just be present and mindful to the energy that you're putting out there, that you're releasing into the world, and the energy that you're absorbing. So mindfulness of energy, the first moment you wake up, think about the energy of your body, your energetic connection, and your breath. And that will center you, that will ground you, and that will bring your awareness first thing to your energy. You tap into that, and it's a continual process that we keep getting back to.
Okay, so I see, like, I'm tuning into you and I see a huge field. So when you're saying an energy field, I don't know if you realize that you can extend your own energy field. And when you can clear your own energy field. You don't need someone else to come in and heal you. You can actually, you in the chat, you mentioned energy field. So this energy field exists 12 inches from our bodies, circling us, and it's below us. It's below our feet and it's above us, and you can actually extend it and clear it. And how do you do that? Well, you can actually either close your eyes or open your eyes. I don't know if you've connected to your clairvoyance, your third eye, but if it's easier, you can close your eyes, whatever makes sense for you. So you're going to, if you want to do this outside, inside, whatever, you want to visualize all the space all around you. This is my suggestion. Space all around you as far as you can see. So to the horizon, in front of you, beside you, next to you, behind you, below you. And you want to visualize it all light. all light. So you're clearing away any darkness, and you're clearing as far as you can see. You're extending it. And you want to just, maybe you want to have an intention when you're doing this. So you're saying something to yourself, like you can speak it in your mind. Hey, or hi, I would like to clear all of any negativity that's in my energy field, and I'm sending it away. And you're going to visualize it to be all white, all light, white light. And then you might want to put something in that field, something positive, like from here on in, or something like, I want only goodness to surround me, or whatever it is that you want. And I'm not saying a possession, I'm saying a quality, an element. Like, I really want only good things to happen to me, good luck. I would like to have more grace in my life, more forgiveness, whatever it is. But you can start by visualizing light all around you and asking for it to be clear and positive. That's what I would say.
And just like what comes to me when you're talking about that Mary, is thoughts become things. So I think that's something everyone could be mindful of, is our thoughts are energy. That energy can transmit throughout our body. So be mindful that thoughts become things, you know, the basis of manifesting. Obviously, manifesting goes much deeper than that, but yeah, be very mindful of your thoughts and the thoughts you're putting out there. That is energy. Now, Kelly, to kind of, so we're not keeping you here all night, but we can cover a couple questions. I know you probably have a lot of insight and guidance around that, but I'm being drawn into a question here about someone talking about what happens when someone crosses over or struggling with the loss of a loved one here.
Is this the Neela Z? I was just about to raise my hand and go like, okay, you guys, here's what I get. So, as a psychic medium, and that's just like, I'm an intuitive girl of the world. Neela Z lost her friend around a year ago and still struggling with it every day. Stop it. Okay. Like, stop it. And by the way, I had a private session today, and the person had 5 friends that committed suicide. So I've had a really hard day when it comes to that. And I'm gonna share this. What happens in the afterlife? I'm always worried about whether he's in a better place. Yes, he came home. Like, right? They most of the time when I check in, they're worried about us. they're like, oh, you're still in the science experiment going on. Like, right? So please, 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 please. The thing that you want is them for it to cross over. And I'm sure Mary, Amy, and Michael can help a little bit with more of that insight. Gosh, we could do a show on crossing over. But seriously, that is so every 100%, every single time that I've checked in with someone, they're more worried about us because they're like, they've gone home. So it's interesting when I get asked to do a check-in with someone that is at end of life. I see it in different ways. I'm a picture girl. How Mary's going to receive it and how Michael's going to receive it are totally different ways, but I'm a picture girl. So what I see is in the different phases. Okay. I see a red carpet, which is really kind of interesting. And everybody's dressed up like they're on the first class of the Titanic. I don't know why it's the first class of the flipping Titanic, but the first class of the Titanic. And they're milling around. Okay. So the closer they are to their transition, they go from red carpet milling around. And then all of a sudden they line up as they get closer. And then all of a sudden the people on the Titanic look at me. So when I do a check-in on someone as they're in end of life, if I see that the red carpet and the lights are on and they're milling around, I'm like, I know it's close. But if they're all at the carpet, then I know it's really close. And then if they're flipped around and they're looking at me, it's really close. So they're throwing a party. They're coming home. They've had their science experiment in life on here on the planet Earth, and they're coming home to their friends and family, and they're throwing parties and not our way of parties, kind of their way of parties. And it is beautiful. The suicides that we were talking about today, my client was like, I would feel horrible if my friend committed suicide. And I looked at her and I was like, I do too. Like, so on the human level, I'm like, oh my God, I do too. But then I was like, what if it's in their contract? What if their soul wanted to experience that? I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. But before judging, what if that's something that they came down to experience? And I just leave that with a question mark. I'm not saying it with anything, but with a question mark. And she went, never thought of it that way. So that's my little Kelly for the moment. Okay,
yeah, and I think
now.
Yeah, well, I think as a medium, I think the biggest thing we can convey to anyone that's experienced deep loss, even in our own loss, is we just have to be patient with ourselves and understand that everyone goes through it differently, and there's like no wrong or there's no right or wrong way to experience it. But when we can start working through the grief, we can start feeling the grief and the pain, because most often what happens is we experience it, we're in that trauma state, and then we want to numb it, so then we're going to go to, alcohol or food or sex or, whatever it may be. We want to numb that. And I can tell you that's the worst thing you can do when you're experiencing the trauma and the pain, regardless of what it is, because you have to feel it and you have to experience it to allow your soul to process it and move through it to how it's going to transform. If we're stuck in it, we're never going to allow that energy to potentially transform and uplift us, rather than it to cause like this debilitating, like depressive energy. So it's a matter of trying to transform it and understand that everyone connects in a different way, but we all have the ability to connect to our loved ones. And we all possess this divine connection, but like anything, it's a process that we have to learn, we have to experience, we have to practice. And the more we do it, the more we start to understand and connect in that energetic way. So it's a process that has to unfold. It's definitely going to be small steps. And we have to understand that when they're connecting to us, a lot of times it's very subtle. And the energy that connects will seem almost as if it's our own thought. It could feel like it's our own voice. It could feel, it can almost feel very like our own energy, but it's different and it's not ours initially. So that's something we have to understand, is it's not going to be like this crazy, version of transparent mom jumping out like we would see in a movie and, screaming and jumping down and throwing, some kind of energy slime on us and I'm here. Granted, could something like that happen, or could someone experience that? Maybe, but usually it's a very subtle thing. And then I also want to say, in our dreamlike state, if we're navigating really deep, debilitating grief, and in our waking moments, the body can't process it because we're in that analytical mind. In our sleep state, that's all. It's almost in a, I would say, it's a subdominant energy cycle that then the subconscious and our energetic soul can transcend that. And it can basically connect to our loved ones when in the waking moments we're not experiencing that. So a dreamlike state absolutely can be your loved one connecting to you. And I would say the more vivid it is and the more details that you feel like are kind of occurring while you're in that, more likely you're truly experiencing a soul-to-soul connection. So it's a process, and don't beat yourself up over it if you feel like you're not connecting or you feel like you're in grief too long, because it's a very, very personal journey that we each have to go through, and we each have to find our own way to process and transition that grief into something positive that can uplift us. And they want to help us in that process.
Beautifully said, Michael. Beautifully said.
So it's funny because I've never really focused on what the afterlife is. I had this near-death experience, which I had some more insight about that this week. But what I just realized, what my perception is that this experience that we're having here as humans, alive as we think, or so we think that we're alive, this physical reality, this conversation is an experience. And then the experience of passing over, or when we leave this, is another completely another experience that unless you're there, you probably won't ever understand it or know. And we can't know. And it's another maybe it's another realm, another dimension, it's something else, but it's not anything like this. This is something else. That's another experience. But what I do know is, this part I do know is that we are connected with that experience. And how are we connected? We're connected through our energy. Maybe it's because we say someone's name from our past, and then they hear us, and then they come and they poke us, and then they say, go see Michael, or somehow they find someone that will give that information because they don't have access to it. So I know that we are connected because we're connected through energy. We're connected through our vibration, So I said, what is that afterlife or that other place, that other environment, that other experience? To me, what I sense, but this is me, and maybe it's like Kelly only had, or Kelly's not only, but Kelly's had these experiences with extraterrestrials and they're neutral. So that's her experience. So for me, because I had this near-death experience, my experience passing over where part of me left and went there and saw this rushing energy spinning and outlines of angels is safe, continuous. It's a learning place. It's quiet. And you do some kind of, you start to understand other parts of other experiences. Like I believe when you cross over this other place or dimension, they see us and then they understand more of this experience, if that makes any sense.
I think that we have gone on a topic roller coaster ride.
Yes.
I don't know. That's what I'm getting.
I love what you're getting. We are a flippin' science experiment, if you think about it.
We're getting a lot of questions. People like, when are you coming back on, Kelly? Because we have a lot of, hi, Mary Amy, Michael, and Kelly. Might I ask about a difficult connection I have with someone named Rob? Is there any guidance about this? There's a lot of people wanting, all right, we need to just have a show with the chat.
It's just good. Yeah, we're just gonna take questions from our chat.
Work really well
now
together.
We're at 9:35. Now we're at 9:35.
I don't know. Like I apologize. I don't watch all your shows, but I do watch some of them. We get going. Even like it's fun.
Okay, everybody, we're gonna come back to this another day because we're at 2 hours here. So
that was already 2 hours. Wow.
Well,
I know. I feel like we're like 15 minutes in and we're just getting going.
Oh my God. All right. So I'm just going to say, if you would like to reach Kelly, edgemagazine.net, Michael Edley, no, it's not Michael. It's ihavethespirits.com, MaryAmyOfficial.com.
You can find it at michaeledley.com though too. It will take you to the same spot.
MichaelEdley.com. So we have.
I'm gonna come out to one of your special events.
Will you come out here? You can come stay in my very small home. So Michael and I are getting together June 10th. Next week, we don't have a guest right now. I haven't focused on that. Next guest is Jennifer Rose, June 11th. Debbie, who I have to introduce you to, who's an ET contact, July 9th. So I'll get somebody for next week. But is there any parting words you'd like to say before we sign off tonight?
Be excellent to yourself and others.
Like this? Be excellent.
Right? And question everything. Be curious. And check out edgemagazine.net. And oh my God, you guys, this is such a great podcast. I love you guys. I love what you're doing. I love who calls in. You guys are amazing. And I'm honored to be here.
You're amazing.
Thank you so much for being here.
Beautiful.
We appreciate you, Kelly. We really appreciate the energy.
Michael, I love the blue bandana. I have to say, like,
I feel like we could just like talk for hours, and I feel like it almost like stirs that energy up in all of our listeners too. And I feel like we have more questions and more people like taking us down these crazy rabbit holes when you're on than any other time. So I don't know. I mean, we might have to make this like a regular, like every couple week thing that we,
So if you want to come
you
back
jump in
in
and deep
June
dive.
or early July, because June's, I don't know how June's going to go.
June's
Because
gonna
it's
go
really
great.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But my parting words. So it's interesting, and I find as a medium or like just doing this energy work where we're the eternal student, and I think when we connect to spirit, we can always get some kind of insight and guidance, even if we're the channel and we're the one bringing the messages through. I do believe we hear things as the medium that we can take and utilize in our own life. And I think part of our process is like embracing that and learning each day as we're doing readings. And I'll just share one of the most beautiful things I heard that came through in a reading from spirit. And I think this is something we can all take to heart, is let life be your work and not allow work to be your life. So this is what I want to say. I know we got a lot of questions that pull people into work transitions or their work, or, but that's what I think about that. Think about life being your work, and try to embrace things that fuel your soul. Even if you can't do it all the time, try to find those little spots here and there throughout your week, throughout your day, throughout the hour, whatever it may be, that invigorates your soul. Let life be your work, not work be your life. And if you feel like work is your life and you're trying to change that, tune into the energy. The energy will guide you forward. But yeah, that's a beautiful message that came through, and I just wanted to share that with everyone.
I love it. Thank you very much. I like that. Is that your next book?
It might be a book. Since I don't have a book, it might be maybe the start of a book.
Right. Well, aces to everyone. And I'm really grateful that everyone joined us here for episode 91. It's May 28th. I want everyone to have a wonderful weekend, and we'll be back again next Thursday at the same time, 7:30.
And again, a huge thank you to Kelly Wagner, publisher of Edge Magazine.
Thank you,
She's
Kelly.
got a whole gambit of titles and responsibilities. And so we're just going to say, Kelly Wagner, the amazing entrepreneur. And we thank you for joining us. And I look forward to the next time we are together. This has been a pleasure.
Talk to you guys soon. Thank you for.
But we have another one. You guys rock. Cindy.
Come on, thanks, Cynthia. That's awesome.
Anyone out there, you rock too, and you rock even more if you like and follow Two Psychics Podcast.
Okay.
And if you like what you hear, share this and let people know about us, because that's
do another plug for your June 10th event, because that needs to be sold out.
Yeah. Pelham Rails, Pelham, New York. We have an evening
just
of
Pelham.
Pelham
Pelham
Rails in the village of Pelham, New York. And it's going to be a phenomenal night. June 10th.
Tax included.
Yes.
No, tax is not included. I don't know. All right, everyone.
You come hang out with us and you get food. And if you're one of the first 50 people, Mary's going to give you a free crystal.
I thought you were going to say something else, so I'm really glad that it was a crystal.
I still have to give.
This is a PG show.
I have a note.
No, we're R for reality, right? We're rated R for reality.
It says Ken's.
We show people a different reality that they need to see.
A year ago. But you know what? Maybe in person. Come in person, Kelly. Come this summer.
Yeah.
Come to New York.
Let's talk after the show. Let's figure it out.
All right. Love you guys. Bye.